Good morning, everyone. Well, it is bullish, just as I predicted. Unfortunately, um, I didn't get to futures early enough because I was eating. This is a trade that I missed out on, and I'll show you guys right now. One moment. Yeah, it would have been a pretty good futures trade. Where is it? There it is. Entering longs right here is a very, very, very good trade. And really, I guess my PT would just be ES new high of day. And that would happen here on this candle. Um, so it would have been a very good trade, but it happened to happen right in the middle of like my breakfast, so I did not take that. I'm starting to trade now, though. For those of you that weren't here yesterday, it was a small green day. I was green by one trade. Um, Nothing really happened. I mean, we chopped up for the first 30 minutes and we chopped down for the next hour and a half, and there wasn't too much that happened. But my bias this morning was bullish, and I'm actually going to send it out real quick. Update my channel. So obviously bullish, and it's still bullish. But fantastic technical analysis today. I mean, our sentiment was on point. Made a good amount of money this morning. I wish I could have made more, but the calls started chopping way too much. And with Powell talking, it just gets unpredictable, but send this out. All right. So yeah, it's bullish, and unfortunately, kind of like yesterday, I can't really get triggered into anything. My nearest PT is that next blue line, which is 21,894. We have to go through a lot of supply to get there, so I'm not going to enter unless there's multiple oscillations. I don't really even have a short trade either, unless we put in a rising wedge or something. So very similar to yesterday, I have no trades at the moment. Like I said, the only good trade that happened as of recently was uh, longs right here. And unfortunately, I was not trading futures yet. So I'm shorting it for later this week. And it's a little early for that. I'd wait for this current trend. But I mean, if it's later this week, it's not going to matter. But I'd wait for this trend to stop. But anyways, type of chat. How do you guys end up doing this morning? Bright green. We have one person that says bright green. You a millionaire? Yet? What do you mean by yet? That's assuming I haven't been one already, buddy. Decent green. Got kicked in the nuts again. Another perfect stop loss. Perfect stop loss means it swept it, or perfect stop loss means it did its job. Dev. What did the news candle stop you out? The Powell talking candle stop you out? This one? Tapped it, went the right way. I'd assume it's probably this one. Did good with QQQ. Yeah, this morning was kind of chaotic. I couldn't there's only so much I can do. You know, I'm trading at the same time, and when the market's like when I see that ES isn't moving and NQ is, I switch over to NQ. It didn't really matter what you did, but it was chaos because like I can't keep up. All I can really do is essentially tell you guys what I want to happen and what I'm aiming for, and that's it. You got to manage it. If I got one red candle on NQ this morning, would have been a lot easier. But when the candles are just gapping straight up like that, you gotta act on it yourself. But the analysis was there, right? I mean, it was very bullish analysis. You know, you can't beat chopping down in demand, especially on the 15-minute. Like you cannot beat it. Like it is bullish. The trend is bearish, so you know we started bouncing when I sent the pre-market analysis. If that validates, then yeah, I'm bearish to this low. But otherwise, I mean, this isn't a perfect trend line, but it's a nice one. And you're chopping down in heavy demand. I mean, this is a daily demand and a 4-hour demand. It's just a bunch of them. Very, very easy pre-market analysis here. I see it probably once or twice a month that this pre-market analysis sets up, and I'd say it probably has a 85 to 95% win rate, depending on the time of year, I guess. But anyways, yeah, I mean, really all I can do is trade bullish consolidation. It looks like ES is trying to be stronger than NQ now. So if we do go up, I can enter longs here. Like I can enter this trade. There is it's a very small pivot here. But aside from that, there's not that much I can take. So guess we'll see. What did Powell say? Did he say anything bullish? Not really. That volume spike really bugs me though. We'll see. If this candle closes super green and we get all the way back up to here, I'm able to take longs. It is pretty textbook bullish consolidation. Actually, never mind. I'm not able to. It's on a pivot. I forgot. Nope. I'm going to need it to dip again for me to get in. You can take it if you want to, but it's on a pivot. I usually don't. However, ES is stronger than NQ now, and NQ's making lower lows. That looks pretty good for ES to break to the upside. NQ swept this pivot as well. Looks like this pivot was a pretty big deal. I may be willing to take it anyways if this next candle closes perfect. If ES continues being way stronger than NQ and NQ keeps making lower lows, I'd be able to take a gamble on it. That's almost good enough of a candle. No, it didn't quite close right. I gotta be so picky with entering longs on ES because it is technically on a pivot, but it's also so much stronger than the Nasdaq. See, if the candle closed like this, I can enter, but it's probably not. It's probably gonna close above that high, which is an issue for me. I could take it anyways. I mean, you can't get much more textbook bullish consolidation than that. And really, I mean, you could put a stop loss all the way right here. Yeah, that's a really tight. Yeah, I could do that. I took it very small. World's tightest stop loss there. You could move the stop loss a lot further away because the stop loss is so tight, it doesn't have a high chance of playing out. But because it's on a pivot, I'm not willing to put my stop loss further. Looks like it is going to stop out though. Now, if we come down and confirm another oscillation and do something like this, the next stop loss would be a lot looser and the trade will have better odds. I'll be quiet for a bit so I can fill out my journal. Stop loss is in a much better place now. Because now if it comes all the way down there, swept high, good chance NQ is going to go for demand. I don't know if NQ is ready to go up though. If NQ does go up to high a day, I think my PT on ES is going to hit. It's the thing is like it's not actually let me see. It's not actually like a solid pivot because it's just this pivot was created by the market gapping down. It's not actually like a solid pivot, but it's just kind of where I threw up my PT. We'll see if it gets there. I don't know if it's going to. NQ's not looking good. NQ needs to make a lower low. It looks like it's not holding up very well. FEMA says, watch the range break. TA lesson. Took this trade based on that lesson. It validated more than half the drop. That's a really good trade, FEMA. I took the exact same trade. On top of that, on the 15-minute time frame, more so on ES, you can see it chopping down in demand, which just adds probability to that trade. Yeah, Deb, that's what I figured. That's where it stopped out. It's gonna hunt like that. I mean, even if you were in a short trade, it would have swept you too. Whenever Powell talks, it's gonna do that. That's very unfortunate. I don't know. I don't like how NQ's chopping up at the moment. I think NQ needs to go for a lower low. And we'll see if ES remains strong while that happens. I'd say the odds are still pretty low on this trade working out just because it's a 2.8 risk to reward. Where's the 1-to-1 at? Yeah, it already hit the 1-to-1. By the way, I'm super stuffy, so if you guys hear me sniffling, that's why. QQQ got me 6% gains. Yeah, it's like, dude, I re-entered QQQ and I'm bullish, but it's like you can't really do much when the market's just chopping because it ran so hard the IV was juiced, and when it starts chopping, you're not going to get. And that's why, when you trade options, you really have to learn to just settle for small gains or no gains at all, even though it went your way. Because if you don't, you're going to get hosed. Like you're exposed to massive loss. Even now, even where NQ is at now, it's still less than where it was right here as far as the QQ calls are concerned. That's just what you get for trading 0 days. So your PTs could hit. You literally have to learn to settle for shitty gains. It's either you settle for 5% sometimes when you thought you were going to get 30, or you don't settle for it and you sell for a 50% loss. That's really all there is to it. And now futures, that doesn't happen, but on futures, your stop loss gets swept a lot more. See, when I trade options and I enter half size or whatever, I don't have hard stops, so I don't get swept. I still get swept sometimes, but that's why my win rate is a lot higher trading options. So there's pros and cons, I guess. Jay, it's always been like that. I mean, I've had a 100% trade in literally 2 minutes. Was it late last week, Thursday maybe, Wednesday or Thursday? There's still plenty of huge gains that happen. It's just after a huge move happens and it chops, your contracts are you need to feel an urge to get out. Yeah, I guess it depends on the time of day you've been trading. It kind of looks like ES isn't as strong as I want it to be. I guess we'll see. You in calls right now? I am not in calls. I am in longs. Guys, it's the YouTube stream is called Futures Live Trading. I'm not trading options. Yep, NQ is stronger than ES again. It's been doing that a lot. It's been switching from strong to weak. So there goes NQ. See if ES picks up the slack. It is doing that. It did that earlier today too. I mean, um, like ES was so weak right here. That's why I dumped my SPX calls and switched to QQQ. But then the big breakout candle, this one, it like caught up. So I'm not too worked up over something being weak temporarily. It's almost my PT. Good. Yeah, see, look at it. It just randomly decides to pick up the slack out of nowhere. Is Powell saying anything? Powell says he believes the Treasury payment system is safe. I guess that pumped the market. Why does that pump the market? Did we believe it wasn't safe for some reason? Anyone have an answer to that? Still far away from my PT. I mean, it has to go through this supply cluster and then get here, so, you know. I guess I can move my stop to break even. Yeah, I'm going to move my stop to break even. It could sweep it, but oh well. If it sweeps it after it goes that high, I don't care. This was a 2.8 risk to reward trade. And it missed my PT only by 2 ticks out of 25. It got 23 ticks, didn't get 25. So if it comes all the way back down, so be it. NQ looks like it wants to keep going. I said it in my options channel. My next NQ PT is up here. There is another one before that here. I'm bullish for them. Like, just looking at the chart, obviously I'm bullish for these to hit, but it's not like I'm playing for it because there's so much supply here. You know, I'm kind of hoping it gets really close to it, like right here, and then puts in some kind of flag or dip or something, and then that's an easy trade. That's a good trade. Except this is a 15 minute, so if we put in a flag on the 15-minute, that means I'm going to lose money. Maybe I'll avoid that though, because you know what? I actually really expect a flag to form. Maybe I'll avoid trading after this trade. There's PT hit. You guys are spoiled. I'm spoiled as well. We got lucky. Very lucky. Gosh, I'm so stuffy, guys. I don't think you can hear my sniffling because actually you two might be able to. I don't think my odd like crisp my noise cancellation is on for YouTube today. Time check. Can you guys hear me sniffling all the time? I remember yesterday I was up by 1 trade in the beginning. Or was that not yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Up by 1 trade in the beginning, and then I got nothing. So I actually am tempted to leave, but it's fine. I won't. We'll hang out for a bit. I'm not taking another trade like that though. The trade I take, I have to like I cannot the next trade I take, it has to be one of those trades where I cannot avoid like I cannot avoid getting into the trade. Like I have to get in. So we'll see. Elon. Yeah, I saw one of Elon's spaceships last night on the ride home from MMA. You guys know that like the Falcons, the Falcon 9 launches, it like lights up the entire sky. Shit was so cool, dude. I'm like, damn. I kind of wish, the money isn't as good, but I kind of wish I was genius enough to participate in something that significant instead of just trying to steal money from other rich people and institutions. But it was like it came across the Phoenix sky. It was maybe here for 30 seconds. Like I was riding home with my buddy. I look, we get onto the 60, and then I see it right in front of the freeway. Maybe 1 minute later, by the time I turn off the freeway, it's gone. But when you're watching it, it seems like it's not moving fast, but then if you look away, it's gone. It's a great trade, guys. And you know what? NQ might just get to my PT. Like NQ might just get to my price targets up here. I don't know. But like I said, I hope it gets really close and then pulls back. That's the plan. That was a really good trade. Good risk to reward too. Hang on, I'm gonna send this to the Discord. I'm just gonna send it to the free trading stage chat. Why don't the NASA rockets look like this? Like, why is it only Elon's rockets that look like that have like the crazy glow? You know what I mean? There, I just sent a picture. Look how crazy that looks. It was so cool. I was geeking out, dude. I was freaking geeking out. It's like when you're a child and you see like a really cool train or airplane or something or like fighter jet. God, that's the first time I've ever seen that. I don't think can I post pictures in the YouTube chat? Let's see this. No, I cannot. That's lame. It's probably for the best, actually. It's probably for the best. Oh, it was so freaking cool. I'm glad you guys I'm glad your guys' reactions were the same as mine. I thought it was so neat. I thought it was so neat. The only time my buddy doesn't go like 100 miles an hour on the freeway plus is when there's a cool ass spaceship. We were going like maybe 50 or 60 miles an hour. Where usually in Arizona you go like 80, 85-ish. It's the pace of traffic. Everyone was going so slow. It was freaking neat. Maybe I could, here, I got you guys, YouTube. So you YouTube people don't get left out. While I'm waiting for another potential trade that I may not enter. Oh my gosh, the link is too many characters. Are you kidding me? All right, hang on. Okay, you guys are gonna have to do some work. If you guys want to see this picture, copy and paste the first one into your browser, and then put the second one right next to it. So don't click the link. But oh wait, if you click the first one, it works. It just screws up the width. All right, there you guys go. Now you guys can see the rocket ship too. That's bullish, guys. Look at the break. Like our analysis was so good this morning. Fantastic. Look at that. So good. So oh my gosh, it's like not even gonna. It's just gonna get there. Jeez. You know what's crazy about Elon? Someone asked him like, "Hey Elon, how did you learn how did you learn rocket science?" And he literally learned it from reading a bunch of books like on his own. He just read a bunch of books on it, and that's how he learned how to do SpaceX. It's freaking crazy. So crazy. The highway had a massive accident because people were watching this guy. Where was that, FEMA? Oh, really? Well, Cali, it's a lot more dangerous because there's a lot more stop and go traffic. But here in Arizona, if there's something really cool in the sky and you're driving towards it, there's no stop and go traffic and no one's gonna be merging lanes, so it's fine. You know. But that FEMA, that reminds me of like you know how like they used to make like white tires instead of black tires, but they caused accidents, so they don't do them anymore. That's what that reminds me of. There's a rejection. Guys, I can't get back. Like, you can if you really want, but even if it goes back up, I can't get in. I need multiple oscillations. Because I mean, if you think it's gonna get there, you can enter if it goes. But like I said, it's in too heavy supply for me. I gotta wait for it to do something like this. I need two oscillations at the minimum. I'm not gonna get in unless I have another strength play where ES is consolidating nicely and NQ only gets one oscillation. Then I can enter. But otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of hang out for a bit and see what happens. Was not really expecting that last trade to work out, but it did. Yeah, Dev, I've seen that video. It's like ES is being a little stronger than NQ again. Yeah, it's gonna be a while before I enter another trade. If I enter another trade, I need it to go all the way back up, all the way back down, and then all the way back up. Then I can take longs. Otherwise, if this is technically a short entry off of supply, but I wouldn't take it. It is supply confirmation. I mean, you did get the volume. It's hard to see the volume because demand is so heavy, but you did get a volume spike in supply. You are getting a trend reversal. Yeah, you can enter shorts here. I don't though because I'm still bullish for these pivots naturally. I'd rather dip buy than go short and hope it just keeps going down, but technically this is supply confirmation. You know, just even though like demand is so heavy, like I can't see anything, like demand has been working out. Like we bounced right off this cluster overnight. We retested this cluster here. This has been good stuff. Good stuff. Like look at these bounces off demand. And then this bottom all the way down here bounced out of this cluster. Good stuff. Good indicator. I do want to do some back testing again because I haven't done it in forever and just trade via supply and demand. See how it goes. If you took that short trade, you can already move your stop to break even if you want. The problem is it could easily head and shoulders, but that is a supply rejection. I told you guys that it was supply confirmation to get into a short trade here, but I have conflicting analysis. If I didn't have these pivots above and instead it swept them, then I would get in, but it's against my bias, so. I'm gonna hang out on my phone. There's nothing I can take. Like I said, even if it goes all the way back up, I can't take it. I need multiple oscillations. Supply is too heavy. If you want to take the risk, you can. But I need it to go almost all the way back up and then back down and back up. Bare minimum is a bull pennant. I would prefer a flag. So that's what I'm going to wait on. Well, supply did its job. Honestly, if I took that supply trade, I wouldn't have sold though, and it's bouncing. Really, I mean, you could go to demand. I would at least go to this low here, and it did miss it. We do have a potential trade setting up, which is the head and shoulders, but the problem with me is I'm still overall bullish. Yeah, I mean, you can take if it does come up and then come down, you can take it. But what did I say? Did I not say that I expect it to get very close to these pivots and then flag on the 15-minute or do something consolidatory, which means on the 1 minute, I'm gonna have to be sitting here for a while. So it's doing exactly what I expected. This candle on the 15-minute did close more bullish. I'm sorry, no, more bearish than I wanted though. So if we do come up, this is obviously a bullish descending Browning wedge. So break to the upside. If we come up and then come down, you can take a short to this low, or maybe even demand. That's not bad, but it's still against my bias, so I'm not going to touch that. I'm really just waiting to enter ES longs. So what I'm hoping happens is NQ comes up, pushes ES up, comes down for the head and shoulders, pulls ES down, breaks this new neckline we have to make the head and shoulders play out. And I know some of you are probably going to want to take that head and shoulders, so I hope it at least gets to this low. What I'm hoping is NQ makes a lower low, then comes up. Happens all the time at head and shoulders. And then I will have a really nice flag or pennant on ES, which is something I can take that's a very reasonable trade to try to attack these pivots above. So that's my game plan. And depending on how textbook the bullish consolidation is on ES, that'll determine whether I go for this pivot all the way up here or just the first one. But it's looking like, this is kind of the bare minimum. This was yesterday's high. Here are just the pivots from yesterday. So we barely swept this one yesterday. I told you guys in the live I was bearish for my blue lines to hit, and one of them hit. Just barely swept it, and that was high of day. So as for for what was it? Monday? For Friday. These are the pivots that I have left as well. So it depends what it looks like. I may go for the very high one. Obviously, once it gets to the first pivot, the stop loss needs to go to break even. So that's what I'm eyeballing right now. And I'm just hanging out on my phone waiting for something like that to set up. I'm unwilling to take shorts. It's just too much against my bias. You can take it for if it puts in a head and shoulders, but I'd rather not. I just don't want to take. I want to be a little bit more picky in these live streams, and I'm more tempted to take trades because you guys are watching me. So I take a lot of trades that I can take, but not necessarily trades that I need to take. And I want to pretty much just take trades that I need to take. And I needed to take this bullish consolidation here on ES. Actually, I didn't quite need to because it was on a pivot, but the strength and weakness analysis makes up for that. So I felt like I needed to. So I'm going to wait for my hypothesis to set up. And if it sets up, I'll execute on it. If not, I'm thinking the next 30 minutes are going to be really choppy. So, and then we predicted that well before this even happened. Before my last trade even played out, we predicted, I'm bullish to these blue lines up here on NQ, but I'm expecting to get really close and then consolidate. So I would hate to lose money while price action is doing what I expected. So that's what's keeping me away from trading right now. So again, if I'm quiet, that's because I'm just hanging out on my phone. I'd recommend you guys do the same. Take your eyes off charts for a bit. You can go. I know that there's no possible way I can enter a trade in the next 5 minutes. It's literally impossible. So I have no need to look at the screen. That way I keep my psychology fresh and it's not deteriorating as I'm making subconscious decisions. Play some Clash. Lone, actually, I'll play you in Clash right now because I cannot enter a trade within the next 5 minutes. It's impossible. So hop on, buddy. How is it impossible? Because Lone, sorry, Rakai, how is it impossible? because in order for me to get in, I need it to go up, down, and then up. I'm unwilling to get in if it just goes up. So my hypothesis for me to enter is up, down, up. Or if we do come all the way to demand, then come up and consolidate or something, I can enter there too. But regardless, that's not going to happen within the next 5 1 minute candles. All right, I'm going to mute my mic while I attempt to beat loan. I choked that game unbelievably hard. I'm not warmed up alone. We are drifting towards demand at the moment. Come back up. Yeah, dude, I freaking my cards were out of rotation so hard in the beginning that was freaking terrible. Well, you know, this is technically like a big bear pennant on ES, but the first leg is not proportional. I'm starting to not mind longs on just one oscillation on ES. I'm not minding it much. Because this is a nice trend line on the NASDAQ. Let's see if there's a better one. Yes, that's perfect trend line on the NASDAQ. That needs to break to the upside. This isn't actually a bad reversal trade here on NQ. It's not at all. This is a low risk trade that I could take. And I'd really just move my stop loss to break even. I actually don't mind this at all. You know, if the candle didn't close right, so I can't get in. But if I get like a solid green close on a candle, I mean, this would be my stop loss. Once it gets to this point, I move my price target to break even. Or, sorry, move my stop loss to break even. It's not terrible. Probably not going to do it, though. If NQ flipped decisively stronger than ES, I would very much so consider it. But it's not. And ES, like, I'd be very surprised if ES doesn't go up without at least sweeping this trend line. I think that means a stop loss will get swept on NQ. But it's not a bad reversal trade. If you believe in it, you can take it. I'm just trying to still be picky. Yeah, it's not bad. Looks like NQ can break to the upside, but eh. I'll take the trade that I originally wanted. You guys, again, you can take that reversal trade. To me, it's just, eh. I'd rather enter up here if it does something like this. That's what I'm looking for. NQ is decisively stronger than ES now, so longs still aren't bad right here. They're not terrible. I just, high day is so far away. I want NQ to test this area. I want NQ to get back up to here. I want to see the bulls get tested by some shorts entering. I want to see a small pullback. I want to see that pullback invalidated. And then I'm willing to take a bet to these highs up here. I'm looking at my phone now though because I can. It's starting to get close to a possible entry. That doesn't look very bullish on the 5-minute, not gonna lie, guys. 15-minute looks a little bit better. We could have a rising 3 methods on the 15-minute, but this candle's gonna have to close red. And right now it's pretty much a doji. Just gonna hang out and wait for it. FEMA says we want a break, and then what after that? Well, we did break. If I took that reversal trade, I wouldn't have moved my stop to break even unless we got this high. So it just barely missed it. So it could potentially stop out my hypothetical reversal trade. What I wanted is I wanted this area to be retested by price action. I wanted it to trend up. I want to see it retest this area of resistance. I want to see shorts get in, test the strength of the uptrend, and I want to see that test successful and the dip to be invalidated by bulls. And then I can take a pretty ambitious long through supply and go for these pivots up here. But I'm not seeing that. I mean, I'm seeing it try to reverse to the downside before even invalidating 50% of it. Now, ES on the other hand, or barely invalidated 50%, then reversed. ES on the other hand, it's trending up, but again, I would like to see ES get up to here, then do something like this. I'm looking for a pennant on ES. I don't want to just hop in longs if it just gets one oscillation and goes up. That's not enough for me. You could if you want to take the risk, but the risk of stopping out just to re-enter is simply too high. I'd rather just skip it. So that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for a nice pennant to form on ES or NQ to get up and test that area. Honestly, it's looking like that's not going to happen. NQ has a very fractal inverse head and shoulders here. So if NQ gets up, I am concerned that ES is going to go ahead and get new high of day, which means I could miss this trade. I just need multiple oscillations. I'm not really willing to. Minimum, like at least give me like that. Something small. I don't even need a flag or anything crazy. So that's what I'm waiting on. But now it's starting to get mildly stressful because ES is so much stronger than NQ right now. And even NQ, just it looks like even if NQ just gets to here, ES is going to be at new high of day. And I could potentially miss this trade. So now I'm feeling a pressure to get in on one oscillation, regardless of what I wanted to do initially. So I'm hoping NQ dumps here. If NQ can dump and make a lower low, hell, if it can get to demand, oh my gosh, it'll be looking like such a fantastic trade setup, which doesn't mean it's going to be a green trade, but it's going to be a very solid trade setup. Not really. FEMA, it's not really a descending broadening wedge. Like it could be if you really want it to be, but that's the key. If you really want it to be. If NQ can dump to demand, that would be magical. Probably most of the time magic doesn't happen though, so. And this isn't an oscillation if we just go back up. I need it to come all the way down to here or make a lower low, then come back up. So if it just gets a green candle right now and goes back up, that's not good enough for me. Massive volume spike on. Yeah, SPY and QQQ are much better for reading volume. It looks like I have a little bit of time before I can possibly get in, so I'm going to wait again on my phone. All right, NQ got to demand. This is good. If we come back up, I can take longs. It doesn't look like ES is much stronger than NQ though. Like it's been stronger, but this current candle, it's dumping a lot more. I'd expect NQ to flip stronger due to sweeping liquidity, but I'd probably still take that ES long. ES is PTs are just so much closer than NQs are. They're actually not, but they feel closer because ES seems like it moved a bit more. We are getting a volume spike and a lower low with the buying wick here. So that is a reversal candle right there. If you want to be risky, you can take a reversal trade on that candle. You can already see this candle opening bullish. The problem is ES didn't make a lower low. If ES also made a lower low and got a similar reversal candle, I would take it. ES might not need to, though, because it also did get a volume spike. Powell must be saying stuff for Trump talk. Do we have someone talking right now? I don't think we do we? Hang on. February 11th, 10 a.m. 3:30. No. Let me see if he's saying anything on trading economics calendar. No, I don't got anything. Good patience. So, I mean, we predicted it. Did I not say NQ's going to get close to these pivots, and it's very likely that we're just going to chop down or something. Like, this is good avoidance of price act. Like, this is good. We are avoiding things here. Now, it'd suck if I do all this waiting just to end up finishing today red. That would suck a lot, but, you know, it's always a risk. All right, there's ES lower low. If we come back up, I am in. Yeah, my entry is going to have to be like right here, and then this is going to have to be my stop loss. That is a reversal candle right there. It didn't get a volume spike, but it already did get a volume spike in demand. If you want to take a reversal trade, you can. If ES chopped down, I would, but it dropped a little bit too steep for me, so I'd rather just take the trade that I want to take, which is me betting on this bull flag or falling wedge. More of a falling wedge, doesn't matter. Reversal candle looks like it's trying to play out. What do you guys think? Type in chat. You guys think this flag is actually going to happen and we're going to go up, or what do you guys think? Let's look at the bigger time frames. What do we think on the fit? Oh, it's very possible. It's very possible. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it's looking like a very strong possibility at the moment. The bigger time frame charts definitely support it. NQ's a little rusty though. NQ's, I mean, if NQ goes up, it's probably going to take a while, like 30 minutes plus. Hopefully that's not the case. All right, looks like NQ is flipping stronger than ES. I could enter NQ instead, and my entry would be roughly here. Man, I don't know how I feel about that though. I mean, the PT would be so just high of day PTs there. And to match ES's PT, would have to go right here. So NQ's, yeah. I don't know, but NQ is clearly stronger now. I guess we'll have to see. And there is a minor pivot right here, which I guess is major because a lot of supply formed out of it. It's a nice bounce on NQ, though it's starting to be a nice bounce. Bouncing right off the 23.6, guys. I mean, it seemed like a big pullback, but in comparison to the run, it's still a very strong uptrend. It is a strong uptrend. I assume ES did the same. I don't even know if ES got to the 23.6. Oh, it did just barely. Oh, no, it barely missed it by one tick. These flags have solid chances, guys, of playing out. Really does. Be patient. I'm not going to enter here on NQ. I may enter up here. I'd want to enter below this very minor high, the selling wick high there, but I think it's too likely to sweep it and come back down. So I'd wait. But that is, I mean, you did get a volume spike in demand. This trend line break is your I mean, you have demand confirmation too. This supply trade was a nice trade. I just couldn't enter it. It was too risky, too low of probability because it was going against my bias. But the supply trade I called out was very nice. Went all the way to demand. How big was that gain if you took that? That's a good size trade. Right to demand, hit the reversal button when it touches demand and starts magically going back up. It's looking like I may enter NQ longs. NQ's looking a lot better. You know, if this candle closes like this, I think I'm going to be in, guys. NQ is clearly stronger than ES. It's got to where I need it to go. It's, you know, if I lose on this trade when I go and review this day, I can see why I entered. I took it. Pretty tight stop, though. I'll switch to MNQ so you guys can see my screen. I'll just redraw these pivots real quick. Yeah, I can kind of see where they are. Little early on the entry, but I mean, it's pretty valid. I would hate to see ES flip stronger now, but I'm okay. This is a very small loss here. It could sweep my stop and go right back up though, because demand's just underneath it, but I'm not willing to put my stop further away. It's another potentially crazy risk to reward trade. That's a bad candle. I would not get in. If you're not in yet, I would not get in unless that red candle goes away on NQ. That looks bad. You know, it looks like it just perfectly baited me in. Looks like it's going to get my stop loss. Yep, just perfectly baited me in with the most bullish candle ever. If that candle is any less bullish, I wouldn't have gotten on that slightly earlier entry. See, I'll try again if it comes back up. Ideally, I'd want NQ to sweep lower lows, but it can honestly just sweep my stop and go back up because this is a potential inverse head and shoulders here. Honestly, adjusting your stop loss to just below the line of demand, it's not terrible, but I cannot do it because I don't change my stop losses. Um, you can move your stop loss up a little bit. It makes it a little bit more likely to trigger, but there's no way. I moved up just a little bit. There's no way in hell if it invalidates that entire buying wick, it doesn't get to where my stop loss originally was, like 99.999%. So just saving a little bit of money there. Actually, I can move it a tiny bit higher than that. I could do like here. There. Oops, that is a buy limit. We do not want that. Tempting, maybe. That's a crazy risk to reward trade. And not super likely to play out because the risk to reward is so good, but it's a pretty valid trade. Now, the first PT is technically high of day. You could just go for high of day, but that wasn't the game plan. The game plan were the pivots up here. Unfortunately, it does look like ES is stronger than NQ again, which is a huge issue. To be fair, if I entered ES, I would have stopped out. But that last green candle is my entry candle on ES. So if I didn't enter NQ, I would be entering ES on this candle. And the loss would be a lot bigger. It'd be a much bigger loss if it doesn't work out. But here's a potential trade. So I guess we'll wait and see how it goes. I'm gonna keep this one on the left here just to compare. Unfortunately, it looks like NQ is way weaker now, which I do not like. I'm actually tempted to sell it at break even because it's so weak, but not gonna do it. The trade is still very valid. You can, if you want, you can switch to ES. It was NQ was to be fair, was a lot stronger at time of entry, so there's really nothing I can do about the strength change there. I think the new supply is just affecting it. And that is the most textbook bull flag ever on ES. I'm hoping that if I stop out of this trade, ES keeps going down and takes out this double bottom that it has. Probably not going to happen, but it will be nice psychologically if I stop out of this NQ trade and ES also goes down to where my stop loss would have been, so that me being in NQ didn't actually hurt me in comparison to being on in ES. But looks like it is because NQ stop loss is a lot closer than ES's is. And honestly, this looks like it's going to get my stop. And honestly, if it goes right back up, I'm going to have to hop right back into ES for the flag, unfortunately. INQ stop loss being so much closer than my hypothetical ES trades bothers me, but I'm unwilling to move it. Looks like it's gonna get there. This is chopping up, like not in a bullish manner at all. This is not bullish price action on NQ. ES can still be bullish, but NQ, it's gonna be luck if it doesn't stop me out. I'm gonna need a lot of luck here. Looks like ES is moving a lot better than I like ES so much more, guys. The divergence between the strengths just continues growing. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Because now NQ's in the red and ES is in the green. This is a new trend line. Let's see, maybe NQ can end up squeezing because it's got a lot more shorts in. I don't know. My big hope is that if I stop out, ES goes down to my stop loss as well. My hypothetical stop loss. Looks terrible, guys. NQ is so much weaker than ES. Like, it's terrible. Probably going to stop out of NQ and just have to hop in long on ES. It's freaking terrible. And there's no way I'm able to switch without taking a loss on NQ. So I'm just going to have to let it stop out, then see what ES does. That's super shitty. That's so annoying. Because NQ was so much stronger at the time of entry. It wasn't even close. So I'm going to allow myself to stop out here. And I guess if this red candle validates on ES, I'm just going to hop into ES longs. Because unfortunately, with me stopping out here on NQ, my hypothesis is still perfectly valid on ES. FEMA, I would recommend ES over NQ. I wouldn't touch NQ with a 10-foot pole. It looks like shit. This is a potential inverse head and shoulders, but it's gonna hit my stop loss. That real quick. That's so unlucky. All right, if ES invalidates this drop, I'm in ES for the exact same trade I just took. It's an unnecessary loss there. Folks, this may be actually a fantastic thing that I took NQ. Actually, it's still not fantastic, but my loss on NQ was 45 ticks. And if I just do that into minis, one mini on NQ, that is a hundred and sorry, $225 loss, right? Well, let me just make sure real quick. Yeah, $225 loss. However, ES would have stopped out too, and ES would have been a $350 loss. So I actually ended up saving money by being in NQ instead of ES. And ES did just sweep that low. So if it goes up, I will give this one more attempt. If it fails, then I'm not going to give it another attempt because now the flag will be disproportional. But that is a gorgeous stop loss right there. 10 out of 10. All right, so that is a perfect trend line on ES. My re-entry is going to be like here. Honestly, is it really going to go all the way to PT? I don't really think so. Like, okay, it's a huge flag. It's got huge potential, but is it really going to get all the way up there? I don't know. That PT's forever away. Obviously, the length of the first leg, if it's proportional to the flag, this can be the length of the second leg, 100%. Looks like the flag is breaking though. Looks like the market may be flipping bearish. Yeah, the market may be flipping bearish. I don't know. I'm still going to enter if it comes all the way back up, but it may not be doing that. Let's see how it does against the 38.2%, because that held yesterday. Pretty nice. We're not even there yet. We're not even to that fib. Really hoping ES remains strong as it bounces because it's going to look like such a good trade. And the reason why is if ES bounces to here, I'm thinking NQ will be somewhere like here if ES remains strong. And by the time NQ gets to here, it's got all this to break. So NQ should at least has a very high chance to get to here. And by that time, ES is probably going to be around high of day. And by that time, my stop loss will be a break even, and it'll have a straight shot to these pivots up here. So it'll be looking really good if we go back up. It's a lot of shorts to squeeze out, and that's a lot of buy-side liquidity that's swept. But that's bearish right there. This is a very bearish candle, the way it just opened like that. So I guess I'm going to hang out and wait and see if I can get triggered into something else. Folks, I'm starting to think the market's just bearish now. Yeah. Unless the only reason why I'm still willing to enter long if it goes all the way back up is because that trend line's perfect on ES. But as far as the flag, that hypothesis is gone. That is invalidated right there. So now if we bearishly consolidate, I'm in. It looks like we've broken the 38.2%, so we are no longer in an uptrend. And the next target fib is the 61.8, which is very far away. ES has not broken the 38.2% yet, but NQ's pretty much there. It did put in a volume spike, so if it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce right now. That's not actually a bad reversal candle to just blindly go long off of. It's really not. Yeah, but I'm thinking it's likely to be more of a dead cat bounce. And NQ missed this pivot as well. So I'm actually going to be looking for a short entry on this bounce here. It's not even going to bounce. That's already trying to be bearish. Yeah, ES didn't get to the 38.2%. NQ did. That's a nice reversal candle. Yeah, it's not bad to take a blind long hoping it bounces, but I do hope it bounces. I hope it bounces to like here. Here. I can enter shorts here. And then really, I mean, the trades are just too small. I don't really want to go for this PT. I want to go for something big like right here. So, gosh, that's bearish right now. That's bearish consolidation on NQ. Like, if you want to take a gamble on a short of it not bouncing, you'd enter right there. Yeah. I already made the lower low. I was hoping it would bounce above this blue line, but it looks like that's not going to happen. I'm leaning bearish on it to get to the Powell low here because the market's sentiment is clearly different now. Oh, wait, Powell is talking. Powell says tariffs sometimes reach consumer and sometimes not. Trump confirms sending Bessent to Ukraine to meet Zelensky. Powell says Treasury supply may be a reason term premium increased. Is he talking right now? Is that a perfect double bottom on NQ? I kind of want to blindly enter shorts on this bounce. Oh my gosh, it's a perfect double bottom on NQ, guys. I kind of want to blindly enter. I gotta let this candle close, unfortunately. Damn it, I want to enter right now. Not a bad idea. Enter right now. Stop loss here. The second it makes that lower low, move your stop to break even. It's pretty likely to be a free trade. I can't enter though. It's against my rules. I gotta wait for the candle to close. But if you did take advantage of that, it looks like it's gonna try to get there. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna take out that low. So you're already getting ready to move your stop to break even. Oh, I want to get in because ES isn't even bullish either, but stronger than NQ. We could be in for a very big drop here to my PT. Please go back up, NQ. Wait a minute. It's perfect double bottom on MNQ, but what is it on NQ? It's no way. It's a perfect double bottom on both. 85. Oh my gosh, it's actually a perfect double bottom on NQ, guys. 785 on NQ. All right, this is something I can do. I wanted to enter up here though, so that I can put an initial stop loss up here, and it's not super likely to sweep it. But I don't know if I'm going to get that opportunity. It kind of looks like it's just going to go down right now. Nope, it's going to go down. All right, move your stop loss to break even if you took that trade that I couldn't take, unfortunately. And yeah, it could bounce right here. It could not, but these perfect double bottoms on NQ are rare. That they break very often. No, perfect double bottom is bearish, FEMA, as you can see. That's why I was spazzing out about it. Well, don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in, folks. I need it to bounce. It can still go for a bounce. That's why you just move your stop loss at break even and just hope it keeps going down. Because it's not like you can take. I mean, you can take profits if you want, but it's just I never want my green trades to be smaller than my red trades. So if I know it's gonna get to PT, I could just take the trade, move to stop loss, break even when it does, because it was at least a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Holy shit, that's a reversal candle on ES. Look at the volume on that candle. That is a reversal candle. You could take a blind long there, and your stop loss would be just above the low of that buying wick. But that is that is massive. Look at the volume on that. Does SPY have that big volume too? Oh my gosh, look at SPY's volume. Wait, didn't we have like some auction, like some bill auction right now? The volume might not actually matter much if that's why. One moment. What time is it? It's 10 a.m. 10 a.m. WASD report. Okay. I don't know what that is. Guys, I'm scared. I'm not going to be able to get into shorts. This was my NQPT down here. 21,760. That was my PT. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in. And if you did take that short trade that I called out, if your stop loss is at break even, it's actually looking like it has a decent chance to get all the way down there without sweeping your break even stop. It's leaving me. It's leaving me. It's going down there without me. That's unfortunate. At least I called that out though, so you guys can make money on it. It looks like it's gonna get there, guys. I hope it doesn't. I'm looking for a bounce to enter, but it's looking like it's gonna get there. Damn it. I wanted to get in so bad, but my rules killed it. Hopefully some of you guys caught it. Called it out perfectly. Could not have called it out any better. That's a potential reversal trade on ES. If NQ did sweep one pivot, so ES could go for a decent bounce here, but because NQ missed my big one, I'm not gonna take it. You said it bounced off the 61.8 perfectly. From that 61.8, yeah, but I'm not doing that fib. I'm doing it to the pre-market low. And NQ just hit PT. Your boy caught none of it. I called out the whole thing though. Now I can go for a reversal trade if I get a nice reversal candle. Hopefully you guys caught some of that. That was the most obvious price action ever. I mean, I guess I still could have entered on this candle, but the risk to reward was so screwed up. I wanted to move my stop to break even and I couldn't, so it's whatever. All right, now we're in super heavy demand and ES is on VWAP. That's a reversal candle I can't take a gamble on. That is very high volume. NQ's in very high demand. If it holds this buying wick, I could take a small gamble on it. And it is. Took a very small gamble. It's, and it stopped out immediately. I'm willing to take one more of those gambles, but probably I would need ES to get to demand. Is that 1020, 1004? NQ's making lower lows. ES didn't even make a lower low, so I needed to go a little bit further down. And it bugs me so much that I missed that short trade. That short trade was so freaking obvious. So obvious. So much pain. Powell says U.S. federal budget is on an unsustainable path. I can still enter shorts. Now we have pre-market low is now in question on NQ. That shit is bearish. That is very bearish fundamentals there. That he's saying that. That is a reversal candle to the upside with a big volume spike. I need a bounce for me to enter short. I cannot chase it, unfortunately. And ES did just hit the trend line I have, so that could be a trend line retest. So let's see it go for a little bounce here. You guys can, I can't say you guys can chase it, but I'm unable to chase it. I need a bounce. But I am now bearish to the pre-market low on NQ, which is very far away. I'm anticipating a 60-ish point drop on the NASDAQ. Guys, I don't think I'm going to get my bounce. That shit is so bearish. Like, that is bearish. I hope I get a bounce, but I'm starting to lose faith that I'm going to get a bounce because it's trying to put in buying wicks, but it keeps invalidating. And like this is a very bearish candlestick setup on NQ here. So it's at least going to make another lower low, which I can't enter shorts on. You can enter shorts on this candle. It's at least going to make a lower low. If the candle is red. But my PT would just be forever away. I would just go for this down here. But because PT is so far away, that's why I need to be picky about a bounce. So I'm just going to hang out and wait for a bounce, or I'm just going to miss the entire thing. It's pretty rare that it's hard for me, or I do not want to follow my rules while I'm live streaming, but it's one of those days where I just do not want to follow my rules. I don't want to do it. I was supposed to be in shorts all the way up here. But no amount of money is worth breaking rules over. That's why your guys' PA accounts don't last long. Last like 4 days. That is why. But now we're actually getting a bounce. So now, I mean, we could reverse all the way back to the upside. For me, I'm looking for this bounce to go much higher than it is and then invalidate. And then I'm going to take a really risky short. Doesn't have the greatest odds because I'm going through heavy demand. But I'm looking to take a short all the way to pre-market low on NQ. Hoping it doesn't validate right now, but if it does, I might just pull the trigger on it. ES, a much more reasonable trade would be ES to this low. It looks like ES is actually a lot weaker now. Yeah, I might just have to take ES instead. NQ's PT is too far away and it's too strong. Let's see how ES closes this candle. Yeah, it's closing bearish enough. I can get in. Need it to invalidate just a little bit more though. Good, I expected that. Whenever you see a really big green candle on NQ, then a very small red one, and the next candle opens green, most of the time you're going to get a squeeze to the upside. That's what prevented me from entering there on ES. Nice demand bounce on NQ, or ES, I mean. All right, now I can enter ES, technically. Yep. Is this candle going to close right, though? Yep. So ES's PT is much closer than NQ's. And as for a stop loss, I'm kind of thinking up here. It's a bigger stop loss, but I'm willing to give it an attempt. If ES flips strong, I'm gonna have a meltdown. It looks like it is flipping strong. But I'm not think if ES does continue down, I'm not thinking it's gonna get. Oh, that's a buy order. Oh wait, that's a sell order. We need to fix that. ES is invalidating that selling wick. Looks like it wants to go a bit higher. And judging by ES's brand new strength, yeah, I'm liking NQ a lot more now. I swear, right when I get into a trade, you know, right after I get into a trade, it flips strengths on me. Oh my gosh, NQ looks so much better. Put a buy order on ES. I'm hopping into NQ instead. I don't really care. Now, as far as NQPT, it's really risky. It's not very likely, as far as the stop loss goes, but I'm going to roll with a much, much tighter stop loss. Something I can re-enter, because if it does squeeze through the entire selling wick, um, I think there's too high of a chance we could go on a run. So I'm going with a way tighter stop loss instead. Let me clear out all these orders. Yeah, it's a much tighter stop loss. Actually, it's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. Let's see if NQ stays weaker than he is. If it flips again, I don't even know what I'm going to do. But I'll keep this up here for comparison. It's top 5. The bullish buying wick on NQ. It actually looks like ES was only strong for like the 2 minutes I was in that trade, and now it's back to being weak. We'll see if it stays that way though. Obviously, my NQPT is way further away than my ESPT. So risk towards 3.3, obviously not very likely to hit. But if we do something like this and then come back down, I'll give it one more attempt. Because the fundamentals are genuinely pretty bearish. That super bullish buying wick is playing out. Looks like it could end up. Looks like it could turn into a short squeeze here. We could actually go for a run. It looks like he has flipped back into being strong. If you're waiting on a trade, if this bounce invalidates, shorts are going to look good again. The problem is though, the market needs to continue being bearish fundamentally. I don't know if that means Powell needs to talk more than he already did. I don't know what the market needs to do to get that. Because I'm thinking the fundamentals were bearish enough to push NQ eventually down to pre-market low. But at some point, shorts are going to need to squeeze, and it looks like they're squeezing out right now. So I'll give it one more attempt if we come back down. Yeah, ES would have been a bigger loss if I stuck with ES. What was that time? 10:18? Can't believe I missed that short trade, man. That bugs me so much. That was such an easy call. Anyways, I'm back in shorts if we invalidate this move again. A little bit better of an average right here. It would still be a possibly huge trade. We'll see if this is a bullish reversal or just a short squeeze. If we do somehow go all the way back up, I guess I can try for the trend line break on ES again, but the odds of that are so small, I don't even think I just trade it. I think I just sit on the sidelines. I think Powell's done talking. Yeah, he could be done talking. So I don't know if this is short squeeze, just temporary, bull trap short squeeze, or if this is going to be a bullish reversal. I guess we'll wait and see. Pretty much break even on the day now. I don't have the list on me, Blackhawk, but I do have my rules as a list, yes. Not right now, Blackhawk. That's too much work. I would need to get my phone and take a picture and send it to Discord. I'm not doing that. All right, if this move invalidates, I'm triggered into shorts. I don't know if it's going to, though. I'm going to hang out on my phone and wait. These candles are opening bullish. It's indicating that we could just go all the way back up, but to me, that wouldn't really make sense because it was bearish fundamentally there. So I'm still leaning that this is just a temporary bounce, but the way it's bouncing indicates that it may not be a temporary bounce. So I guess we'll just wait and see. That's bullish on NQ. NQ flips strong. ES is putting in bullish consolidation. Longs actually don't look bad. This is looking like we may go all the way back up. Yeah, I'm now bullish on dips. It's not bearish anymore. Unless we fall all the way back down to the demand cluster on NQ, it's looking like the entire market just got hornswoggled for some reason. Fantastic stop loss though. Jeez, that was very good. ES has nearly completed the 61.8 rule. It bounced off the 61.8, so it's got to go 61.8 back the other direction, which means the PT, it's almost there. It's almost the 61.8 rule. Too bad the way the market dumped was so incredibly bearish. I did go for one reversal trade, but the way it dumped was so bearish that I didn't even really consider taking a reversal trade. That is freaking bullish. Am I not going to be able to take any trend trades right now because I'm not going to be able to get triggered into anything? I'm feeling like that's going to be the way it goes. I am able to get triggered in here though, and I think I'm going to. Because now we've invalidated a majority of the move. I'm personally willing to take the risk on it. I don't like the big volume spike on this candle, but I'm triggered in, so. Actually, I hesitated a little bit too much. I was going to take longs here to new high of day on ES, but I hesitate just a little bit too much. The volume spike, NQ's volume spike on that candle disrupted me, so. Oh, wait, but this is the trade I'm considering. Would be all the way to new high of day. And I'm considering taking it on NQ as well, but it looks like ES is stronger than NQ is. It's 9 green candles in a row on NQ. Oh, that is so bullish, guys. Look at the way that selling wick is invalidating immediately. I'm bullish on NQ to at least get to here, but I'm thinking ES can run a new high of day. That's yeah, that's very bullish. But NQ might be flipping stronger than ES. It might be better to take the Nasdaq. Nah, I'm still leaning for ES. Let's see. I want to see some small pennant or something. I'm unwilling to chase it. If I lose money due to chasing a trade, that's gonna hurt my psyche. So I'd rather just not. Geez, that is so invalidated. That is so. We just wiped out that pretty much that entire drop on ES. I am so bullish right now. It's a bullish candle open on ES within the selling wick. I would just be tempted to enter right now, but ES made higher highs with selling wicks, and I want it to test at least a low of this candle, which it just now did. And remember, this is still a perfect trend line on ES here. I am mildly concerned that we do start compressing. I think it's really unlikely though. But good, this is a drop that I want. All right, if we invalidate this drop, I'm able to get into a trade. And in fact, I'm even tempted to enter into this drop, but on NQ instead because it looks like NQ stronger. But I'm not going to do that. I can enter here. Yeah, that's good enough for me to enter. Gotta wait for 4 more seconds though. All right, NQ stronger at time of entry, so as far as stop losses are concerned, as far as PT, I don't have one. I know it's at least very likely to get to this blue line on NQ. I was looking more so for it to get back up to here, but it just depends on how it goes. But this is bullish consolidation. I'm willing to take a gamble on it. Hopefully NQ doesn't flip super weak on me. I'm sick of these strength changes right after I enter the trades. It's really annoying. I don't want to have to keep switching back and forth between tickers. Just gonna hang out on my phone for a while. It's gonna be a while before this trade stops out or hits any kind of PT. At the bare minimum, long wise, I'm looking for ES to break the trend line up above because it is a perfect 3-point Dutch trend line. NQ doesn't really have any major resistance until this blue line here. And I mean, really, I'm looking for it to get to this high. But by then, it's not that unlikely to continue through new high of day because that's a lot of the move invalidated. So I guess we'll see. That's too far away to think about. So I'm just going to hang out and see what happens. Looks like shorts are stepping in here. This is where the trend is actually tested. Is this actually going to be an uptrend, or are we going to go all the way back up, or are we just going to go all the way back down? See, if we go back all the way back down, we are now compressing on the very big time frames. My sentiment would change back to bearish, but I don't think I'd be willing to take a trade. So we'll see. However, if this pullback does get bought back up, I would fully be expecting new high of day. So I guess we will see. It's a pretty bearish drop right there, though. Those are pretty big red candles. No, I do not play that Captain TJ. The video call is not looking at NVIDIA at the moment. Oh, it looks like bulls are failing. Looks like the uptrend is failing at the moment. A lot of volume there and not a lot of buying wick. That's no buying wick whatsoever. That's not looking too good for this uptrend. Looks like this entire uptrend might go away. Are we still in calls? What are you talking about calls, Nemo? I'm not trading options. I do not trade options in these streams, guys. Ooh, that green candle's gotten validated. We might go all the way back down, guys. And if so, I'm gonna end today small red. It's like almost every day I hit green right at the beginning and then nothing. I might just stop. If I hit one green trade, I'm out of here. Even though I'm really not supposed to do that. It's really bad for your psych and your probabilities. But man, today would be so much different if I was able to catch that freaking short I called out, but this didn't work out that way. See, bulls still have a chance to make back this pullback, but it's looking like it's getting a lot of resistance. But I do like that because if they do somehow manage to make back this pullback and invalidate it, it's going to be looking really good to squeeze for a while. Because this would be a textbook cup and handle here if that happened. Which means if you're not in anything yet, that is a very confirmed long trade. It's a very good looking long trade. Futures trading in your stream titles. Captain TJ, it's almost like I do put futures trading in my stream titles. It's almost like I do that. Every single day I have people asking me if I'm in calls or puts. At literally every single day. I think this is like the 11th day in a row that it's happened. Almost was great, but looks like the market may actually be going back to bearish. Looks like it is compressing. So almost got a short squeeze there. Now it looks like this is turning into a stop loss raid. Unless somehow this entire candle gets invalidated, but that's not looking super likely. Yeah, bulls are trying. They're trying. This has so much potential. God, this has so much potential. There are so many short stepping in right now. But it's not going to look good unless I get back to break even. Because right around there, the drop is going to be invalidated. And like that, what just happened to that green candle? That is very bad. That looks like shorts may end up winning. But if we can get back all the way back up and invalidate this drop, I mean, that's going to be a solid cup and handle. And there's going to be enough shorts entering in on this pullback and enough buy side liquidity swept to produce a solid run that I think should at the minimum break that perfect ES trend line above. And if you're waiting on a trade, a much more high probability trade than the trade I'm in would be long here or here. But I wouldn't unless that happens. The reason I entered when I did because the trend was so strong and it was technically bullish consolidation, but the trend is no longer very strong. Looks like the uptrend is like fighting for its life right now, but it's still above the 38.2%, and that's where I put my stop loss. I put my stop loss just below the 38.2%, and where this very large green candle is invalidated. Been pretty much the same BT. Just keeping this ES one up for comparison, just to compare how the trades are doing between the two. See you later, FEMA. Man, that was so painful. I couldn't catch that downtrend. I called it perfectly. It was so easy to catch. Nope, that is bearish. Looks like it's going to stop me out. And, I'm kind of thinking it may go back up after it stops me out. But I don't know. Powell kind of screwed up the market. I don't know what the actual trend is. I was super bearish, and then it invalidated a vast majority of the drop. It flipped bullish enough for me to enter. And now it's trying to invalidate a majority of the run. So technically I could flip back to bearish, but I don't know. Unfortunately, NQ did flip weak, so looks like it's going to get my stop here. And maybe it could come back up. It'll be a good long if it invalidates this drop. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But yesterday was a small green day. Looks like today's going to be a small red day, which it really didn't need to be. Powell ruined it. Huh. Well, there's still a chance. That could have just been a huge bearish bait. There's technically still a chance. No, I don't think so. I think it's still going to stop out. It just came too close to my stop loss. I'm usually a pessimist when that happens. I think it's going to stop out. I shouldn't have came that far anyways. I don't think, even if I do continue, which I'm not, but even if you do continue trading, I don't know if you're going to be able to even take shorts because now it looks like we're just going to chop sideways in a range for a bit. But if I had to choose, I think it depends. If it sweeps my stop then goes back up, I'm still going to be leaning bullish for that perfect ES trend line. That is a really nice trend line up there. It was bullish consolidation, TJ. It was a momentum trade. This isn't actually accurate. I mean, I entered on this candle here. Stupid. Looks like that green candle is going to invalidate. That may have been... That could have been a bull trap. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know where price action is going to go. Powell ruined the market. I don't have any TA anymore. I got that perfect trend line on ES, which needs to break at some point, but looks like it's time for some chop. Maybe for an hour plus. That is bearish. It's actually not a terrible short entry. If you're bearish for it to go all the way down, this right here is not a bad short entry at all. Now it could just sweep the lower low, then bounce back up. I don't think it's. What are the odds that it does that 3 times in a row? But NQ did flip weaker than ES, so it's not a bad short trade here. And honestly, if I were to enter shorts, I would just take it to the nearest demand, that 1 hour demand just below. And I mean, the trade would look like this. But that's only if you're leaning bearish. I'm not leaning bearish. I'm leaning very neutral. So it's a 1.7 risk reward. Not bad. Easy. NQ is a lot weaker than ES. That was a good short trade if you took that. It is a lot weaker. If ES makes a lower low, you're probably going to be at your PT. NQ looks like it could invalidate this entire bounce. Just waiting for this to stop out so I can document and leave. I am exactly break even on this week. So hopefully tomorrow changes that, but that's so annoying I couldn't get in on that drop. I pretty much killed the entire day. 175. Do you think I'm small or something, Captain? That's pitiful. That is an absolutely pitiful bench PR for a full grown man. That is very pitiful. 215. No, that's still pretty. That's still not good. What time was that? Wait, what? Great. That was a great sell. All right, that's it. I'm break even on the week. Man, I'm tempted to just start stopping these lives right at the beginning, doing only 20 minutes here because this time of day over the last about week and a half really hasn't given me anything. It's been like the very beginning only that makes me a bunch of money. But all right, I will see you people later. Hopefully tomorrow's better, but I have to break even on the week. Love to see it. If only I didn't miss out on that drop. I really wanted to get in, but I couldn't, unfortunately. So Powell screwed up the entire market, and now it doesn't know where to go. But all right, I'll see you guys later.